Okay, students, yesterday we started with a new chapter, as you all know, that is forms of market. That is the last part of your microeconomic theory. And yesterday I have given you the definition of market. I have told you all that how market is defined in economics. Alright, so today we will see that how the classification of those market forms are done and what is the basis of those classifications. Okay, why different market forms are there, why there are different types of market forms in the world. Or alright, so first of all you should know that we can divide in economics, we can divide forms of market into two parts. First we will divide it into two parts. We have already done this in when we were discussing cost and revenue analysis. Okay, in two parts we can divide the market forms. The first market form is your perfect competition. Is your perfect competition, and the second market form is your imperfect competition. Imperfect competition. Alright, under imperfect competition, first of all let us discuss regarding the perfect competition. Okay, when we were discussing the cost and revenue analysis, I have told you that under imperfect competition or under perfect competition or under perfect market structure, the prices remain constant all through. Whether the producer is increasing more output or less output, all the producers in the market will sell the output at the same price. Why? I've told you all that under perfect competition there are very large number of buyers and sellers. There are very large number of buyers and sellers. Okay, very large number of buyers and sellers. And when there are very large number of sellers especially, each seller has very less market share. What do we mean by market share? That the part of output, the part of total output that a particular firm is supplying, that is the market share. For example, if I talk about the mobile industry, okay, if I am talking about the mobile industry, then in mobile industry there are so many brands, there are so many mobile phones. All right, and each company has a particular market share. That means which company is able to sell more, that particular company has more market share, and a particular company which is able to sell less, that particular company has less market share. Okay, so the portion, or you can say the percentage of the contribution in the total output of a particular market is your market share. Okay, since in perfect competition there are very large number of sellers. Okay, due to very large number of sellers, each seller has a negligible market share. Each seller has a negligible market share. Okay, due to very large number of sellers, each seller produces in the total output, each seller has very negligible or very less market share. Negligible market share here means that a particular market share which is equal to you can say which is equal to zero. Okay, the market share which is equal or which is very close to zero, that is your negligible market share. Okay, so due to this negligible market share, this perfect competition does not have power to influence the price in the market. Okay, That is why the perfect competition has no power to influence the price. Okay, so what we have understood over here, that your market share and the power to influence the price of the product are interrelated. Okay, if a particular seller has very less market share, he will have very less power to influence the price, and as the market share increases, his power to influence the price also increases. So we can say that the market share and the influence and the power to influence the price of the product, they both are directly related. Okay, they both are directly related. What do I mean if I am saying that they both are directly related? That if the market share increases, that means the contribution of a particular seller in the total output increases. That is your only market share. Then his power to influence the price, will also increase. So both are directly related. Okay. This perfect competition is known as the one of the extreme situations of market forms. Why it is called as the extreme situation of the market form? Because here the producers have no power to influence the price. No seller has the power to influence the price. Alright, no power. There is no power to influence the price because there are very large number of sellers, and due to very large number of sellers, each seller has a negligible share. That is why no seller has the power to influence the price, and they sell at the prices decided by the market. Alright, they will decide they will sell more output or less output at the equal or same price. So this was the first extreme situation of market form. The second extreme situation of the market form is your monopoly. This is your other extreme situation of the market form, that is your monopoly. Mono means one, okay? Mono means one and poly means seller. Okay, that means monopoly market is characterized by the existence of a single seller. Okay, here there is a single seller. There are no other sellers and there is only a single seller. Okay, and when there is a single seller, total market share will be under his control because there is no competitor in the market. So whatever is being produced of that product will be produced by this monopolist only. Okay, so total market share belongs to the monopolist, and since the total market share will belong to the monopolist, that means whatever is being produced in the market, it is produced by the single seller. That means he has the maximum power to influence the price, just opposite to the perfect competition. He has the maximum power to influence the price. Okay. This is the other extreme situation. Of market forms. That means starting from perfect competition and reaching to monopoly, these two are extreme situations. In perfect competition, there was no power to influence the price due to the negligible market share as there were very large number of sellers. Just opposite, monopoly is the mirror image of perfect competition. It is called a mirror image of perfect competition. Here there is a single seller and the total market share belongs to that seller only, and since the total market share belongs to that seller, he has the maximum power to influence the price. That is why these both perfect competition and monopoly are called the extreme situations. Okay, and in monopoly you can call there is no competition. Okay, in monopoly there is no competition. Why there is no competition? Because there is only a single seller. For competition, a particular seller requires, a particular producer requires its rival. Okay, and if there is no rival in the market, only the sole producer is a particular firm, then there will be no competition. Okay, so here there is perfect competition, maximum competition, and here there is no competition or zero competition. That is why both are extreme situations. So you can write there is maximum competition. Okay, and here there is no competition or zero competition. So why it was important to discuss regarding the two extreme situations? Because all other market forms will lie in between these two extreme situations. Okay, all other market forms, no market form is there beyond monopoly, and no market form is there before perfect competition. There is no market form which has more price control, which has more influence on the price than the monopoly, and there is no market form which has uh, more less power to influence the you can say which is more competitive, or which has more and more sellers. Okay, so this is the starting of the forms of market, and this is the end, and all other market forms will lie in between. All right, that we have to study now.